Well, hello everyone out in YouTube land. My name is Westley Rudd, and I figured that I would go ahead and get this awkward first video of the channel out of the way today as I begin to kick off my fishing adventures. So a little bit of backstory and introduction. I live in Tyler, Texas, have for my whole life. I can be on the lake in about 5 minutes from my house, Lake Tyler East that is, if you're familiar with the area. So I've always liked having a boat. I've only ever owned one boat before. I traded some work with a good friend of mine for an old 18-foot flat bottom John boat. Somebody had converted to a center console. It had a Nissan 90 on it, and had a front deck for bow fishing. I took it out on the lake a couple or three times, and I enjoyed being on the lake, but the problem is that they didn't tell me that, and I don't think she knew, that somebody had run it up a creek before and drug the bottom of it. So there was a leak somewhere in the seam under the center rib, and I took it to a welding shop back before I had the equipment to do aluminum myself, and he tried, couldn't get it to stop leaking. I finally got tired of dealing with it, not to mention the fact that with a flat bottom, if you're out on the lake and you're trying to get some speed up, there's any bit of chop, it'll break your boat in half. It's so rough. So she also had an 18-foot Crestliner semi-V aluminum with a Mercury 115 on it. Her daughter was going to do high school fishing team, but she was also in FFA, and she found out that she didn't have enough time to do fishing with always showing. And she told me if I ever wanted to use it, I could. So I began to use her 18-foot Crestliner. Fell in love with the boat. If I could get a Crestliner again, I would absolutely do it in a heartbeat. And eventually she sold the boat, which was fine with me. The boat spent more time at my house than it did at hers, but it was honestly fine with me that she sold it. It was her boat. Her decision to make. And so I was boatless. My dad has a little, probably, I think it's about a 14-foot John boat with a tiller handle. No, I take that back. It has a steering wheel. It's a little side console. With just a little, I don't even remember what the motor is on it. A little putt around the lake kind of, stick it in your pond, take it to the river kind of boat. And I just don't like smaller boats. I don't want to feel like I'm in a canoe when I'm out on the lake. So recently I have taken up another job. So I own my own welding shop, and I run that. I was full-time at it for a little while, and then I finally got the backing that I needed and the opportunity to open up another shop in town where we sell fire sprinkler parts and also fabrication for that industry. So I have 2 or 3 jobs by the time the summertime comes around, because we live on a farm and do a lot of hay. And I finally decided, you know what, I need a hobby. What better hobby than fishing? You're outside on the lake, just soaking up the sunshine and having fun. And I just got to thinking, and I went, well, I like to fish with a boat better than anything. And got to looking and decided I'm going to start buying and flipping boats. Got to looking around, and my budget was around $2,000. Didn't want to spend much more than that, and then put some money into it. I found a Ranger with, I think it was a 150 Johnson on it, and it was $650 for the boat. Needed carpet, seats, batteries, fuel lines, just piddly TLC stuff. And before I could get it, it was gone. I was figuring that I could buy it for $650, put some money into it, and sell it for about $4,000 and make some money off of it, even if it was a couple $100. And then I found a 1983 Skeeter Starfighter Regency. Has a 150 horse Johnson on the back. V6 non-VRO for all you boat lovers out there. Man, it's about 2 hours away from where I live. They had it marked for $3,500 with Oklahoma tags. $3,500, they would transfer the title and get everything ready and service it and all of that. $2,500, you take care of all of it. thought, I'll go look at it. So I drove up and looked at it, liked the boat. The guy said, I'm going to go get the titles in my name. Because in Texas, it's easier to get a prescription for opioids in your name than it is a boat. PSA to everybody, if you're going to buy a boat, don't go buy a boat that doesn't have a title. You can't register a boat with just a bill of sale. It's not like a car. It's easier to get a lost title on a car than it is on a boat. If you wind up trying to file for a lost title on a boat, you have to go back to the last known person, in Texas at least. You have to go back to the last known person that was on that title, and they have to file for the title. Or, if they're dead, then somebody that can prove that they're acting on behalf of the deceased has to file for the lost title. Just don't do it. It's not worth it. You're going to spend your money and waste it because you'll never be able to get your money back. You'll never be able to register it. It'll never be legal. So he said, I'm going to get the titles in my name. I gave him $100 to hold it for until he got the titles in. Then he started to get a little antsy, and I don't blame him. And he said, I may just keep it, or I may go up to $3,000 on it. I said, I'll come get it this week. So today, I'm on my way back to Tyler with a 1983 Starfire Regency. The Regency is an 18-foot fiberglass bass boat with dual console. That was a really big thing for me. I didn't need a dual console, but it was pretty cool to me because they're hard to find. These Regencies are not common boats. So we're going to start the adventures. I'm going to try to get it out on the water sometime soon and see how it performs. See what it does. We ran it with muffs on it. Sounded good. It's got a little bit of a fuel leak somewhere. I'm not 100% sure if the priming solenoid is working, but battery should be hot on it. And I've got to hook up the accessory batteries. And I did some haggling with him, welded some safety chains on one of his trailers for him, and he let me have the fish finder that he had on. He actually traded this boat. He had I believe it was a Nitro that had like a 200 horse Yamaha on it. And he said that the man that got it, really pretty sure he just wanted it for the motor. So they did a partial trade, and this boat was part of the deal, and he's a truck driver, and at the time he said I didn't have a lot of free time and thought I'll either keep it or sell it, and so he wound up selling it. It's one of the reasons it was so cheap. And it's got a trolling motor on it, and he let me have the fish finder that he had on his old Nitro. Actually, they swapped trolling motors. It was on the trolling motor that's on this boat now, but let me have the fish finder for free because I welded safety chains on his trailer. The chains cost me $30, and I got probably $150 trolling motor. Fish finder, if I can think today. So I have all the Texas stickers. It's Oklahoma registered right now until the titles come in. It's Texas registered now because it has the stickers. It's just he doesn't have the titles in, but I have the owner's card, so that's a bonus. You have to carry your owner's certificate card with you if you're on the water to prove that you own the boat. And even though it's not in my name, I still have the card which proves that I own the boat. I'm not as versed in Texas boating laws as a lot of people are. So a lot of y'all probably know way more about it than I do. Just be cautious because Texas boating laws are strict. They are strict. Anyway, my plan is to put I've already bought another Humminbird fish finder for $250 off of Facebook. My goal is to put a little bit of money in electronics and stuff and get this thing shined up and cleaned up, make it look good. And when somebody offers me enough money for it, then I'll sell it, make a couple of bucks off of it, and then I'll buy another one that's slightly better and needs a little bit of work, and I'll put a little bit of money into it and try to do the same thing until I work my way up eventually to a really, really nice big boat. So, like I said, I live about 5 minutes from the lake. My wife's cousin is getting into fishing too, and so he's probably going to be my fishing buddy. He actually drives by the lake every day on his way home, so works out pretty good. I can hopefully have the boat hooked up and ready to go, so when I get off work, I get home and jump in the truck and he meets me at the boat ramp. We're looking to get out and mainly do a lot of bass fishing. I want to get into some team tournaments and just enjoy time, enjoy my life. I don't want to, I've got to force myself into a hobby or I'm going to work myself to death. And as much of a workaholic as I am, I still need some way to relax, and being on a boat really just does it for me. So y'all sit down, buckle up, and get ready to watch the adventures. I mean, it's East Texas fishing adventures because we intend to go all around East Texas and beyond. And I hope you enjoy an amateur bass fisherman. I'm not Bill Dance. If you want Bill Dance tips and tricks, you got the wrong guy. I can tell you how to weld something, but I can't tell you how to catch a bass right now because I'm still learning myself. Most of my content's going to probably be filmed from a cell phone. You may catch nothing but videos of after we catch the fish, so because I don't have a GoPro or anything. Like I said, this is an amateur fishing channel, so if you want to see just an good old boy out on the water, this is the place for you. Hopefully eventually we can get good enough to where we can have some better content, a little bit more professional setting. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the intro video. Now that that's out of the way, you know a little bit of history and a little bit about what I'm about. We're going to get into the adventures now. I'm anxious to get out on the water and start fishing. So, hope y'all enjoy. See y'all on the next one.